trying to keep on, ain't know how to pray. And just looking through your eyes can tell that you've been running away. Tell that you holding on to pain, holding on to something, holding on to that anger, left me holding on to nothing. Could it be my fault that it's like this? I can't lie that I blamed you for my mess. Cause if your hands all over my life, then what's the point of all this here? I've been breaking down, thinking how I'm gonna make it out. I've been down here on my knees trying to pray it out. Cause it seems like everything that I'm working for is falling apart. Hip hop had always been a huge part of my life. I think that's a language, it's a culture, it's how we eat, breathe, think, it's through the lens of hip hop. We had songs growing up about, murdering and fighting and not letting somebody talk to you a certain type of way. And these are the ways you can cook, sell, and distribute drugs. And it became the things that we were doing. Man, I grew up in a place called Fort Myers, Florida, which is just a little west of Miami, Florida. Nobody has money in Fort Myers, Florida. It's not a destination you would want to go to. My dad, white, my mom, black. Grew up on opposite sides of the river. And on my dad's side is just roads, a sea of trailer parks. And then on my mom's side of the river is housing projects and poor black people. One of the things that I always heard from my mom growing up was, if I hadn't had you, I'd have had a life. She said, one day you're gonna come home and I'm not gonna be here no more. And I just thought that she was just frustrated, like nobody thinks like that could be a reality, but I remember coming home one day and she didn't come home anymore. And I feel like she left us in a situation with a depleted man. I remember one time my dad told me, he's like, the reason I beat you so hard is because I want you to get the lesson. And I feel like the harder I whoop you, the more you'll get the lesson, you won't do it again. But all that did was just drive me further from him. There was no positive voice. The only voice that I had really was Tupac, it's just me against the world. And that's how I felt. I just felt like I was in this world. And you know what, there might be a God who created everything, but I didn't feel like he cared about my life. Why wouldn't he step in and help me out with my mom? Why wouldn't he put food in our refrigerator? Why wouldn't he care? Doesn't he see what I'm going through? Doesn't he see that in our house every night is a fight, is turmoil, and that I'm contemplating ending my life? Why do all my questions seem to leave him speechless? I remember the first time I opened up the refrigerator in my house and not seeing any food. And, my friend saying, well, we can get some food from the stove. Well, this is easy. I'm gonna just keep doing this. The next thing you know, it's more stuff. And then to the point where, that's easy, we can steal from the store, but maybe we can get the stuff out the back of the store too. Maybe we can get the trucks. This gives me a sense of worth, stealing. And all this stuff starts coming to a head where, you start getting in legal trouble. One time, I got arrested for stealing. I remember my dad coming to pick me up from the cop car. And usually, when something like this happens, this means I'm finna get tore up when we get to the house. But my dad didn't say anything. My dad got to a point, I think, he was just like, you know what, I try to talk to you. I try to do my best by you. I'm here for you, but you just don't want to listen. And so I remember being in the house that night and my dad grabbed all the clothes and he threw them on the yard. Then he went back, he grabbed my backpack out the room. He walked out to the front yard, he dumped my backpack on the yard. And he pushed me out the house. It must have been like 2 o'clock in the morning. I said, yo, what are you doing? He said, well, you're not my son no more. I was like, what do you mean I'm not your son no more? He was like, you want to live like this? These are decisions you want to make? And you go do you. In my mind, I said, you know what? That's how you feel. me and you, we're done. The only thing that I'm gonna get out of my life is just me doing me. I'm gonna do me. I don't wanna hear it from nobody. I don't wanna hear nobody's voice. I'm gonna do whatever I think is the best thing I need to do. I need to look out for myself. And for a large part of high school, I spent at my grandma's house, and my grandfather, you know, he was like a dad to me, you know, and he just definitely bought me the first bed I ever had in my life. And I just really felt safe at their house, but I still wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. And so while I was in high school, dating a girl, and I remember my grandma saying, I know what y'all are doing when y'all go in the room in the house. You ain't fooling me. Y'all think y'all grown. Like, I don't want you living like this, especially not in my house. And I said, you know, I'm gonna go live with a girl. And I remember one morning, somebody calls my phone, and I answer it. And it's my sister. She's like, where you at? What you doing? I hang up. My grandma starts calling my phone. She said, where you at? And I said, you know what? I don't wanna hear this. And they keep calling my phone. My dad's calling my phone. I wanna talk to you. My mom calls my phone. I said, man, you know, if anybody ain't gonna, you left me in this mess. You the last person I wanna talk to. My phone goes dead. They start calling the girls I'm with. She answers, they ask if they seen me. And she goes, nah, I ain't seen them. And we said, well, when you do see him, could you tell him his grandfather had a heart attack and he passed away. And he was waiting up in the hospital hoping that Ronnie could get here because he loved him. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? When my grandfather passed away, I just felt like he could I just felt like he saw me for everything that I was doing at that moment. This is the ugliness and the stain that is on me. I just wanted to change, but I didn't know how. And I just felt like the weight of God saying, you have to own up to what's wrong. But I remember I had all these community service hours, and I said, you know what, I need to start serving them because I was just sitting at home doing nothing. And I go to this church. I remember went in there, all that pride on my shoulder. I said, hey man, I heard y'all do community service, man. I'm trying to get something knocked out. What's up, what it is? And they linked me up with the youth pastor. And the youth pastor told me, he said, look man, I'll give you all your community service hours if you come to this Bible study tonight. And I remember looking around the room, and then just a bunch of kids, I was just like, man, these y'all ain't been through nothing. Y'all don't know nothing. Y'all don't know nothing about no trailer parks. Y'all don't know nothing about no projects. Y'all don't know nothing about fighting and fist fights with your daddy. Y'all don't know nothing about pain. Y'all don't know nothing about people dying. You don't know nothing about friends dying. You don't know about people going to jail. And I remember sitting in the back, and the youth pastor, he said, does anybody in here know what the wages of sin is? And I'm looking around, and none of the kids had the answer. I had heard the answer before. I sat in the back, I raised my hand. I said, man, the wages of sin is death. But he just started telling the story of his life. Young Hispanic cat coming up in Immokalee, Florida, no money. Mom and dad going through all this stuff, pain and fighting, no father in the house, drugs, and Jesus. And he talked about a Jesus I never heard of. I remember sitting there saying, like, why would Jesus want anything to do with my life? I was like, okay, if he forgives me, I don't forgive myself. The Bible says in Romans 5:8, it said, God so loved us that even while we were enemies towards him, while we didn't want nothing to do with him, that he still sent his son to die for us. I deserve death, but in fact, I get the exact opposite. I made a decision that I'm gonna live for Christ. When I made that decision, it didn't change the fact that my grandfather was dead. It didn't change the fact that my cousins and family members were still in prison. It didn't change the fact that me and my dad still had really no relationship at that point in time. But it gave me hope. You know, when you look at Christ and the disciples, Jesus, as he's about to leave them, he gets the disciples down and he washes their feet. You know, you would think, like, why would Jesus wash anybody's feet? But Jesus says, if you want to follow me in this kingdom, you must serve. And he says, I serve you that you might serve others. And that's the example, the foundation that he's given to us, is that his kingdom isn't what the world's kingdom looks like. His kingdom involves love and service of people. And in my life in hip hop, I knew it was the things that God was pushing me towards. Music has more of an influence in my community than anything else does. Christ gave me all the gifts and talents to make a difference and to say something to really evoke change in my community. And so now today, you know, when I write, you know, I always see the person that I'm writing to. What's this person going through, and how can I give them hope? I want to be the example of a servant that Christ has been to me when he didn't have to. It doesn't matter who you are. No matter how low you've gone, how far down you've been. He said, let go of the past and what you're going through. God said, ain't life about more? Look at what you've been through. See, that's him, dude. See, I ain't never want for nothing. Cause see, I'm loved by the Father. Even when my mental be fronting, he said, I never leave you alone. Put more than you can bear. I'm casting all my worries on the Lord just cause he cares. See, my Savior suffered, so best believe I'm gonna suffer. But if Jesus all I got, then I don't really need nothing. My name is Reconcile. This is the truth. Now I dare you to live it.